It's got life.
Like a dog. Friends, Romans, and Patriots, lend me your ears and strap on your tinfoil hats because it's going to be a gay frog chat kind of night. My name is E. Honda, host of the Gay Frog Chat. The Gay Frog Chat is a weekly panel discussion where we go chin deep into a different conspiracy. This week we're going to be talking about the World Economic Forum's predictions for a, what do they call it, a world economic collapse? I forget how they put it. Hold on. Something crazy. Systemic collapse of the global financial system. That sounds worse. But hope you guys are doing good tonight. Hope everybody out there is doing great. Hope everybody bought Dogecoin when it was 5 cents and held on to it. Holdor. Because I did not fucking Holdor because I thought it was going to go back down, and I sold it like a fool. If I still held on to it, I'd be like fucking doing a lot better right now, but I'm not doing bad. You know, things are good. Things are cool. Everything's fine. Don't worry. Don't mind me.
We're all fine down here. How are you?
How are you?
We're all fine. How are you doing?
Great conversation anyway.
Look at that company.
You got Leo live on the street.
Yeah, we got a shooting that just happened. You can see the shell casing still on the floor.
Find us some blood, Leo.
Poke him.
Just happened at the drive-through of Popeyes.
Oh man.
Oh man,
Oh,
that's a
man, they're
dangerous
ruining
place,
the
man.
You can't have them ruining the chicken, man.
I had chicken tonight, and I didn't get shot at.
And
Lucky you.
where the chicken gets
Listen,
shot.
I'm not gonna condone anything there, but I understand when they tell you that's gonna be 20 minutes for them to put the apple pies in. Like,
Yeah,
I get it.
I get it. That's like when they burned down that AutoZone. Like, I get it.
Yep. What is this? SpectraPar dropped in $2 and said, link below Gestapo troops. Hold on, I gotta figure out how to...
Man, Canada is turning into the Third Reich every day, isn't it?
Wait, we're bringing them back? Or
God damn it. It won't let me copy the link. I have to go to
Because
YouTube.
it's verboten for you to talk about the SS.
If you can see the car that got shot up, I don't know if you can see it.
wait, so did the employee shoot back? Like, what?
What happened, Leo?
There's a
Explain
gun
to us.
fighting the Popeyes.
Too much traffic in the way.
Fighting over who gets the chicken.
Okay, now I got the link. Sorry, that took a second. Let's screen share over here.
Everybody knows that Popeyes was in Blood's territory.
Oh, here's the Gestapo troops.
Whoa. What's this dude
No bloods
doing?
in Chicago.
The fuck is going on here?
Show us. Zoom in.
I have no
What?
idea. Is there any, like,
The world's
context to this?
Yeah.
Like, are they just stopping a vehicle, or like?
Curfew violators get arrested by Minneapolis police. That's all it says.
Wow.
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
Because you need army fatigues and night vision and
Yep.
fucking
Suppress
body armor.
ARs for fucking curfew violations.
That chick
Look at
with
that truck.
the
Look at the
spandex fucking pants looks like she's
Yep.
dangerous and possibly carrying.
Look at the up armored truck behind him.
Oh yeah,
That's full armor, man. That's like straight. Look at the guy behind it with the nightstick. Look at these guys. Look like something out of a
Bro.
bad cartoon movie.
It's
At what
Get
point are
outta
you
here.
justified in being like,
fuck you.
I'm not taking this shit?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, man. I
Uh,
mean, there's certain things you can't say on a YouTube chat.
that's
so we won't
exactly
go
it.
there.
I'm not going to say it on your YouTube chat and get it shut down. So
I'm just saying, there's a reason we need bayonets.
I'm just, for some reason, just the song Convoy and Mad Max comes together to me.
Dude, that's crazy, man.
We are awaited, Angry.
There's all kinds of crazy stuff going on, though. Before we
Witness
get
me,
into
Angry.
the main story tonight, I did want to talk about judges imposing new types of censorship. If you are charged with a crime now, the judges have the ability, or at least the precedence, to ban you from the internet forever. Now, they started doing this to pedophiles for obvious reasons. And when it was pedophiles that they were banning from the internet, no one fucking raised an eyebrow because it seemed like the thing to do, right? And like curtailing someone's freedom of speech when it comes to that, when you're doing it to someone who fits into that category, like, no one gives a fuck, right? But once you do it to them, then it's like banning Alex Jones from the internet. You got Alex Jones off? Well, now the door's open, man. Now you can kick anybody out.
Is this a lifetime ban, or is this just while they're awaiting trial?
I think it's while they're awaiting trial up until, like, they're done with what, like, the judge can, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I have an idea, but I don't want to say for sure because I don't actually know.
Yeah.
I think it's like when they're done with whatever it is. So it'd be like up until the trial or until their like court stuff's done. So it might be years. But imagine that, dude. Like you are charged with a crime. Like you're one of these people in DC who the doors were open for you and you strolled in taking selfies and stayed between the velvet ropes and then left. And then they found out who you were because of your Instagram or whatever, and then came to your house and arrested you. And now, not only are they holding you with without bail and like for a trial that is pending indefinitely and stuff like that, on top of that, now you're not even allowed to go on the internet because you might say something that would give your case validity in the public view, and they don't want you speaking, I think is the reason. But I mean, because with the pedophiles, it made sense. It's like, we don't want you like downloading and sharing child porn, so you're not allowed to be on the internet anymore. With people who have speech that is anti-establishment, let's say, which, let's be honest, if you're on the right, you're an anti-establishment actor at this point, because that's just the fucking reality of the situation that we're in right now. So if you're an anti-establishment actor in the world today, and you actually and you commit a crime, they can just shut you down for indefinitely, assuming that it works how I think it does.
Yeah.
I don't know. Seems like a violation of the First Amendment to me, but I'm just a lowly Honda. What do I know? And then, yeah, here's another add-on to that. Uncharted waters. Judges are banning some Capitol riot suspects from the internet. And it just goes on. It's a different version of the same story. COVID madness. People fleeing volcano eruption can't board rescue vessels until vaccinated. Coming soon to an area, a disaster near you. Oh, if you get caught in a hurricane or if there's some sort of a whatever happens, and people have to be evacuated, well, you can't get on the bus unless we give you the shot. It's for your own protection. Just wait for it, guys. Like, seriously, this one's coming.
That's when you look at them and go, look at me. I am the captain now.
I will drive the bus. I don't know. It's just crazy to me, like, how everyone has gotten so behind the vaccine when if it was Trump in office, they would have been, like, 100% against it. And yet if you point that out to them, like, they're blind to that fact. It's weird. Like, you would think you'd at least acknowledge it.
You want the rest of my chicken?
Dude, I'm in the middle of a podcast.
Yes, we want your chicken.
I don't want your chicken. Just set it on the counter. Thank you. Love you. At least he's not wasteful.
E Honda does not speak for the rest of us. The rest of us would like the rest of that chicken, but
yeah, like some of us are hungry, man.
I mean, if you were here, I'd give you the chicken. But I think by the time you got here, the chicken wouldn't be very good anymore.
Angry, I'll fight you for it.
Fight
Looks
to the
like the
death.
police trying to grab the surveillance camera from the gas station.
What's going on?
So it looks like the police trying to grab the surveillance camera from the gas station. They went inside the gas station.
Oh, yeah. If it was the FBI and this was 9/11, you'd never see that video ever again. They would just confiscate it and then lose it by accident. During 9/11, like, there was like 60 or 70 video cameras that were confiscated by the FBI the day of 9/11 that supposedly caught some piece or some like frame or whatever of what happened on that day. And they were all confiscated and they were all made top secret, illegal to view. Isn't that weird? And then the only video that we got was 3 frames of a camera, a security camera from the lawn, that specifically did not show an airplane crashing into the building. It just showed a streak going across. I don't know. This chat's not about that, but
We like to talk about it, so we're talking about it.
yeah, but 9/11. It wasn't inside. Yeah. Could you get banned from the internet for saying that?
Fucking Bush did it, man.
It's just funny to me how you can say 9/11 was an inside job, but you can't say Biden did some stuff and now he's in charge.
You can't say, yeah, you know the thing.
Some people did some things, Honda.
It's true. It's true.
Some people did some things.
All right, and that takes us to the main story of tonight. Now check out this first sentence here, but let me read the headline first. WEF, World Economic Forum, warns of cyber attack leading to systemic collapse of the global system. A report published last year by the World Economic Forum Carnegie Cyber Policy Initiative calls for the merging of Wall Street banks, their regulators, and intelligence agencies as necessary to confront an allegedly imminent cyber attack that will collapse existing financial system. Just digest that for a second. And let's break that down. So they published a report last year. What about Event 201? When did that happen in relation to COVID-19 breakout? It was like the last year before, right? Or what about a project for a new American century that came out, 6-9 months? It was a year, something like that, before 9/11 happened. Or we could look at the English Channel, or not Channel, it was their subway system bombings. They were running a drill while the bombings happened. That's how they do these things. They project what they're going to do. They tell you what's coming. They tell you that this is the next thing. Oh, the WEF is warning about an imminent cyber attack. Get ready for it. And they have this whole fucking plan, things ready to go. I mean, it's like the Capitol riot, dude. The same thing with that. They broke in. They had a whole plan ready to go for what was going to happen next after the people broke in. They invited them in, and they were like, now you're in the trap. It's exactly what this is too, man. They're telling us what's going to happen next. They're inviting us in. Look, there's going to be a collapse. Don't worry, though. There's a plan. And we'll get into the plan, which is a scary fucking plan. But it's an imminent attack. And when that attack happens, it will collapse the existing financial system, period. That's insane. This is an insane article. And it was written, April 7th, so a little bit more than a week ago, but we're talking about stuff that the WEF was talking about in November of 2020. Anyway, the ominous report was published just months after the World Economic Forum had conducted a simulation of that very event, a cyber attack that brings global financial system to its knees. In partnership with Russia's largest bank, which is due to jumpstart that country's economic digital transformation. See, and they're doing it too. This is a global thing. This is a global system. They're systematically getting rid of cash in lieu of some weird fucking cryptocurrency, because everyone's got used to cryptocurrency now, right? Like Dogecoin to the moon, fucking Bitcoin's worth $60,000 a coin, bro. Buy a house, it's like 3 coins. Shit like that's going on. What's up?
To the moon, brah. Come on. Iraq veteran does it. He's totally not a Nazi.
But the thing about it is, man, it's not going to be like a blockchain technology protection for currency like the cryptocurrencies that we know about are.
It's going to be the ultimate form of the fucking Fed, man. They can just directly control what money's worth.
Yeah, I was going to say, have you guys actually heard about the coin that they were trying to make for the U.S. government a couple years ago?
Dude, it was part of the economic bailout package. It's written into the legislation that they've already passed. Now they're just waiting for the chance to implement it, which means they need a financial 9/11 attack to happen, which is basically what they're calling for in this article, is some sort of a financial 9/11 wherein the system gets hacked or something happens and you cannot trust the numbers that are on the computers anymore. And we have to come up with a new system and redistribute wealth based upon ideology and based upon your social credit score. And if you say things or do things or go places that we don't like, we can turn your chip off. It's not like you can have cash anymore. I mean, I guess there's probably going to be black market bartering systems going on, and that'll fucking grow.
Bullets are always worth money.
But yeah, dude, I mean, like, we're headed for something bad, man. And it's going to be financially, it's going to affect everybody. It's going to hit everybody, especially if you have money. Like, if you don't have anything, like, go ahead and crash the system, right? Like, I have zero. So therefore, like, if the dollar goes to, like, zero, like, I'm basically no better or worse off. It just means more people are in my boat. But if you have anything at all, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. What do you guys think?
I think you're right. I think we're headed for bad times, and I don't really know what to do about it.
That's how you're going to control someone. You control the money, you control everyone.
Unless you're someone who doesn't care about the money or...
It's about sending a message. Everything burns.
Yep.
I do think this, though, at least in the short term. Like, if the dollar goes to zero, it means things like Dogecoin or Bitcoin go to infinity.
Yep.
So if you have any, I wouldn't say any amount, but if you have a significant amount, like, you know, a couple grand or something like that right now in Bitcoin, for instance, and then dollar goes to zero, Bitcoin goes to 10 million, and your $2,000 of Bitcoin is now worth like $500,000. And you can pay all the rent and buy all the groceries you need to, and it's fine. You just have like a money printing machine, in effect.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
I don't think that's going to last for very long because they're going to sweep in with this World Economic Forum's solution to the whole thing, which we're going to get into in a second.
The question then is, do you want to have dollars or fucking Bitcoin or Dogecoin or some shit? It's like,
I think there's going to be a short period of time, is what I'm saying, where like you are going to want to have some Bitcoin or Dogecoin or something.
What I'm saying is there may be a time where like it maxes out and you want to sell all that shit and get like millions of US dollars because they're going to do an exchange into something else where like you would fucking get, you know, you would really have millions of dollars in value. You know what I mean? If they do some funky shit to fucking bring in some new currency or whatever, the long-term play may be to bet on U.S. currency, but I think the short-term play is to get as much currency as possible using fucking Bitcoin or Dogecoin or whatever. You know what I mean?
So it goes on to say, more recently, last Tuesday, the largest information sharing organization of the financial industry, whose known members include Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and Citigroup, have again warned the nation's state hackers and cyber criminals were poised to work together to attack the global financial system in the short term. Now it says, nation-state hackers and cyber criminals are poised to work together. I think that's true. I think that they're already planning for them to work together. Anyway, the CEO of this organization, known as the Financial Services Information and Sharing Analysis Center, had previously advised the WEF Carnegie report that had warned much... Okay, whatever. Such coordinated simulations and warnings were those dominated in the current ailing financial system and are the obvious cause for concern. Partially given that the World Economic Forum is well known for its Event 201 simulation. Yes, that World Economic Forum. Yes, that Event 201 that just happened. Remember? I don't know if you guys remember. About a global coronavirus pandemic that took place just months prior to the COVID-19 crisis. So it seems to be following a pattern. The World Economic Forum is kind of this group of people that are plugged into the heads of everything. And they like, if something like this was being planned, this is how they would plan it. Period. Like, it honestly is. I'm not saying that they're planning it, but I'm saying if they were planning it, this is how it would come out. This is how we would find that information out. And only a few people would ever fucking hear about it because no one's reading this shit, you know? Like, this is something that gets buried on page 50 in the fucking, like, the tabloid section. No one looks into this shit. Not no one, but not enough people to make a difference. So knowing about it, we can kind of analyze, like, okay, given, like, let's assume that they're right about this, right? There's going to be a global financial system meltdown because of a cyber attack. What should you have your money in if that's the case?
Gold. I don't
Do you
know.
think things like Dogecoin and Bitcoin would be safe from a cyber attack?
No.
I know gold is. That's why I like gold.
Do you think that your bank account is gonna, you know, like, be fine if the dollar goes to zero? They're just gonna reimburse you? And ultimately, that's how they steal. Like, that's how they've been stealing from us for years. Like, hey, we don't have to increase taxes. We'll just print more money. And by printing more money, you devalue the rest of the money. Well, that devaluation is several stages behind where it is, like where the value of the dollar should be versus where it is. The dollar's worth a lot more than it should be based upon the number of dollars. Those just aren't in circulation yet, and they're kind of close to the tit, and they have to, like, work their way into the system. And until that happens, that devaluation of the dollar, the inflation, doesn't really hit the market in a way that you see when you're buying rice and bread or whatever. And that's exactly where we're headed, dude. So, again, I think that in the short term, cryptocurrency. I think in the medium term, gold. I think in the long term, I have no fucking clue.
I think in the long term, like, if they end up doing some sort of currency revaluation sort of thing to some sort of U.S. government Bitcoin or whatever, it would be good to have U.S. dollars. But I don't know if they're going to do that or not. So it could be gold and Bitcoin or whatever, you know?
Not so good at trolling says, skills. Girls like guys with skills. People are saying that skills are the things that you need.
That is true. And
And
also
bayonets.
food and water.
And bayonets.
Well, you also have to have the ability, right? Because you can be skilled at something, but if you don't have, like, you're too out of shape, or, you know, like, fucking whatever it is, you have medical conditions and you can't get your shit together, like, those are the things you need to work on too, you know? Because I think we're going for a point where they're probably going to shut down the power grid, or like something like that's going to happen. And then there's going to be like, oh, we got to get everyone out of Denver. Like, everyone hop on the bus, get your vaccine first if you don't already have your papers showing that you have them, and forfeit all of your guns because you can't bring them on the bus. And don't worry about it, you know, like, you'll be fine. And then you end up in the camps. The next thing you know, it's like fucking Train to Busan, and there's all these zombies, like, hopping over the fucking fence. Figurative zombies, of course. Damn, are you guys awake tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
Duke!
Hey, Duke, wake up.
Oh, baby.
We're going to go steal some picnic baskets.
Yeah, baby.
Playdead says, I barter will be currency of the future. I say barter will be the currency of the future. I think that will be the black market currency of the future.
I think if
There's
you
going to be a
have,
point where, like, that's how you're going to hide money that you make that you don't want the government to know about, is by bartering for stuff.
honestly, I think guns, ammo, food, gas, all this shit's always going to be worth barter.
All Thumbs says, zombies are jumping the fence. Look at the border. That's a good point. And I always thought, like, zombies in the zombie movies, like, that was just like a way of, like, talking about an eventuality or something that might happen in a way that doesn't make it be like, oh, we're just killing a bunch of people. Because the zombies are obviously going to be either sick and like starving and, you know, that kind of person, or they're going to be like migrating fucking hordes of people because shit sucks. And like, look at what happened in East Germany as Russia was invading, right? Like, cities ahead of the Russian army emptied out and moved west as quickly as they could because they didn't want to be captured by the Russian army. It's a terrible thing. And basically, what happened is
because the Russians were pissed off.
Right.
Who's that?
That's Night Strike.
Hi, Night Strudel.
It's Noxstrudel tonight.
The Noxstrudel.
So what happened with these people though is like
Night Strike.
they got together in a giant group and they were running away from the Russians, but they can only take what they can carry, which isn't enough to keep going. So they just start looting as they're going, right? So cottages and farmhouses and little towns and shops or whatever that were along the route, on the main route, were absolutely decimated. Nothing left in them. And then they found that within a couple of miles, I think it was like 3 to 5 miles of the main route the people were taking, those places got ransacked too. But if you were a little bit further out than that, then you were safe. Like they wouldn't go out that far. So I don't know why I was talking about that, but I think that's an allegory for the zombies. That's what I'm talking about.
This one time in World War II, I had my shins blowed off by the Japanese.
Then there was that one time that all those Japanese Americans were thrown in that one camp.
Yeah, that was true. Yeah. But they blew Cotton Hill's shins off. So.
right. That we can't forget that. But on the whole cryptocurrency thing, you were talking about cyber attacks, and not even cryptocurrency is safe from cyber attacks.
Yeah, I was specifically saying that earlier too.
Yeah. So
even cryptocurrency, like if everyone thinks that that's going to be the long-term solution to all this,
no,
I think there's going to be a short-term crisis with cryptocurrency.
It's if some enterprising hacker gets the right server. Okay, it because of how cryptocurrency is set up, and multiple ones, not just one singular one. Because of how they're set up, it's harder to attack them and abuse the system more or less. But it's not so unheard of for some hacker to hack into the system, like what they call the blockchain, and then abuse it to give himself, thousands of bitcoins. Okay.
So, real quick though, onto this this article. I was just reading part of it. Given that experts have been warning since the last global financial crisis that a collapse of the entire system was inevitable due to central bank mismanagement and rampant Wall Street corruption. Okay, just let that sentence sink in for a second. How many fucking CNN reports have you heard about the inevitable collapse of the entire financial system due to the mismanagement of Wall Street and rampant corruption on the central bank's part? 0 is the answer, because they won't talk about it. Because those very same corporations, on top of making money off of sensationalizing race and like cultural things that are going on right now, are also, they have a vested interest in collapsing the system in the controlled demolition way that their owners want them to, which means keeping people blissfully unaware, keeping you in the store buying your shit from Walmart and like working for $12 an hour and going doing the things that you normally do, going along.
Right, not to be paranoid or some conspiracy theorist, but don't most people distrust the banks anyways for being corrupt?
Yeah, distrust is one thing. How many people don't use banks? Because I'm an anti-central bank. I still have a bank account.
Yeah. I mean, well, the problem is with the way some employers are these days. It's hard not to have a bank account to get paid.
Savage says, invest in seeds, livestock, and land, along with the knowledge to properly make use of them. Collapse proof. I'm trying to get land, dude. I'd love to get Like even like 5-10 acres somewhere, you know.
I've got land.
You start Honda's weed farm.
Integrity.
Land and people, because people will be a resource.
Well, it's hard to buy people anyway.
Well, yeah, but if you
Yeah, you can't do that until after the collapse.
if you can offer them a place indentured to you.
Are you like? I think that might be illegal too.
So I was thinking like
It's like slavery. With
$1 million in the bank. If you're making 5% a year out of $1 million in the bank, that's $50,000 a year, right?
That's still a nice chunk of change.
Well, what I'm saying is that's how much a human being costs. Apparently, is $1 million. Because if you have that $1 million in the bank and you're earning $50,000 a year, you can take that $50,000 and pay it to somebody, and they'll do whatever you want for $50,000 a year. You have a slave. So that's what a slave costs in 2021 is $1 million.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Wow.
It's true. I mean, and from a certain point of view, if you think about it in a certain way, that is a true statement.
In the same way that Honda is a slave to people who want cocktails. Yes.
It's true.
And slushies.
Oh shit! Who did we just scare away? Someone just left.
Probably Duke.
No, Duke's still here.
Bye, Duke.
He's the little Jesus in the bottom.
Little Jesus.
Bye, Duke.
Yeah.
Dookie.
Beep, 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 beep.
Oh, hold on. We gotta find the alarm real quick. Hold on.
Get a bugle.
You need like an alien spacecraft.
I can't do it. I'm too high. Wake up, Duke!
Watch him like have just walked away, like he's not even here to test that.
I don't know if that worked or not, but
Wake up, motherfucker!
nothing. All right, fine.
No,
Oh, that was
no.
Leia that dropped out.
Well,
I like how we do this almost every chat to wake Duke up.
Yeah, I had to drop out when I get home.
To go back to the
Hey-o,
point that
buddy.
Savage was making, though, I'd like to go back to the point that Savage was making about seeds. I don't know if you guys have been to a Dollar General lately. Every year they'll bring out a bunch of seed packs you can buy for like, I think it's like 50 cents or $1 a piece or something like that. And that is a good investment.
Oh yeah, I did that last year with Walmart, because you can, even Walmart has like seeds and shit you can buy for like $1 or like $1.19 or something.
even Dollar Tree does it.
At Dollar Tree, it's like 25 cents a pack.
Yeah.
Had a package arrive in Spokane, then made it back to Seattle in 24 minutes. What the hell are they using to move the mail? Look at Honda's Discord.
Oh boy.
Dude, we're getting super sidetracked on this shit, but
That's great. That's great. We got to look.
They got a Stargate for packages.
So departed Washington 3:20, arrived Seattle 2:30. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, right?
Processed, arrived. 16, 17. Okay, on the 18th, it started at 1:50 a.m. in Seattle, went to Spokane, back to Seattle. I don't know, dude. I'm fucking confused.
Me too. I think what he's probably trying to say is Spokane and Seattle are far apart from each other.
So they go on to say that given that they've been expecting a collapse of the entire financial system, that it's been basically inevitable since the central bank mismanagement and rampant Wall Street corruption, a cyber attack would also provide the perfect scenario for dismantling the current failing system, as it would absolve central banks and corrupt financial institutions of any responsibility. See, there you go again. Like, that tells you that the attack's coming. It tells you what's going to happen. Because they basically have a vested interest in covering their tracks. They have stolen and cheated and lied and covered it up. And if things are allowed to go to their natural conclusion, they'll end up holding the tab at the end, so to speak, right? And they'll be the ones that are like obviously to blame for the financial woes of the country that it's going through and the world at large and yada, yada, yada. But if we have this financial 9/11 cyber attack that happens and collapses the financial, well, then it wasn't our fault. We tried to protect against it. Look at this the World Economic Forum was working on it in 2020 in November. Like, look at this. And they can point to this article and say, like, we were trying to protect against it. Rather than, like, take the fucking blame for what they actually did and being complicit with the downfall of our society and fucking basically profiting off of it the entire time, especially at the end. And that's the other thing to look at. At the end, when this is all going down, that's when they're going to be cashing in. That's when these giant moves are going to be made. That's when, like, certain stocks are going to go from, like, 1 million to 0, and other ones are going to go from 0 to 1 million, and, like, pandemonium, dude. Things are going to be crazy, and they're going to blame it all on this financial attack while at the same time pocketing their money and putting it into some intermediary, like a Swiss bank account or something else. Maybe it's going to be a cryptocurrency that's protected from this whole thing that just goes to infinity also, and that still has value afterwards, and they're going to know what that is. Maybe that's Bitcoin. I don't know what it is. But at some point, you're going to see some crazy fucking shit. Like, when this is going down, at the very end of it, right before, like, the shutdown, before they're like, okay, like, that's it. We got, because this is, like, obviously shit's gone awry, right? And that last little bit, they're going to make more than they've made in the last 10 years, which is an insane amount of money already.
So what you're really saying is it'll be exactly what led to the Great Depression when all the stocks collapsed and everything like that kind of deal?
No.
Or something similar to that, modern day version?
No, it'll be worse.
Well, the thing about the stock market collapse in 1929 was that it was caused by the central bank itself. What they did was put out lots of loans and, like, through the banking system to individuals who then took those loans and put them into the stock market, because as long as the stock market's going up, you might as well loan as much as you possibly can and put it into the stock market, because then you're just making profit on what you owe, and you can pay off that plus your interest and have whatever's left over, right? It kind of makes sense from a certain point of view, especially if it's going up like double and triple in a week like Dogecoin has. Like, yeah, like fucking borrow money and put it into Doge last week and then pay off your debt now. Like, like that would have been a really smart move. But the problem is they called the debt in. Like, they were like, okay, if you owe money to the bank for this purpose being investment, right, for putting money into the stock market, we're putting a call on all of those loans, meaning you have like 24 or 48 hours or whatever it is to pay 100% of the loan back, which was part of loans. Like, that was written into the small print. So now everybody on Wall Street has to sell all of their stock at the same time to try to make up that money and put it back into the stock, or, put it back into the bank's hands. While at the same time, the Federal Reserve Bank was in the back door buying all those stocks up at pennies on the dollar and profiting hugely. And then what they did is restrict the money supply for years after that and buy up even more of the stuff. Like, they own so much, they've never even been fucking audited. Like, the crimes that have been committed by the Federal Reserve Bank of the United States, which has nothing to do with our government, by the way, if you don't know, they're as Federal Express. The crimes that they've committed in this country since they've been founded, which has only been like 1910, 1909, something like that, when the Federal Reserve Act passed, would turn your hair white.
Well, I was going to say, you know how the Federal Reserve was created, right?
Yeah, it was the monster on Jekyll Island. We did a whole gay frog chat about it.
Okay, because I was going to say it was actually literally 2 congressmen/senators that were in D.C. during Christmas break at that time. They were the ones that passed the law into place that created it.
They sent everyone home for Christmas and then had a vote with the few people that they had hand-selected to not go home for Christmas break. and then passed this shit and rammed it down everyone's throat. And yeah, like, it's nothing that would have passed if it was a fair vote at the time. And it's put this country down an irreparable destruction path that, like, we all know where it's ending. Like, every single person knows where, like, not necessarily how and, like, the flavor and the temperature and all that shit, but you know it's going to be a cooked fucking ham at the end of this shit. It's not going to be a pig anymore.
Now we're getting some snoring.
Major snoring.
Hey, sorry, different one. This is just an alarm. Okay. That's cool if you want to take like an hour-long nap.
Pretty handy, actually. Well, I feel you could just set your alarm on your phone for an hour and...
Dude, this guy's got 750,000 views on this video. Pretty smart. Pretty smart. Dude, nothing's waking Duke up. Okay. Considering the percent of the WEF's past simulations and reports with the COVID-19 crisis, it is well worth examining the simulations, warnings, and policies promoted by these powerful organizations. The remainder of the report will examine the WEF Carnegie report from November 2020 with a follow-up report with a focus on more recent FSISAC report published last week, the WEF simulation of a cyber attack on the global financial system. Wow, this is a long article. Holy fuck. Okay, where were we? All right, so the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace is one of the most influential foreign policy think tanks in the United States, with close and persistent ties to the United States State Department, former presidents, corporate America, and American oligarch clans like the Pritzker of Hyatt Hotels, whatever. Current trustees of the endowment include executives from the Bank of America, Citigroup, as well as other influential financial institutions. In 2019, the same year as Event 201, the endowment launched its cyber policy initiative for the goal of producing an international strategy for cybersecurity and the global financial system for 21 to 24. That strategy was released just months ago in November 2020 and, according to the endowment, was authorized by leading experts in the government and central banks and industry and technical community in order to provide a long-term international cybersecurity strategy specifically to the financial system. The initiative is an outgrowth of past efforts of the Carnegie Endowment to promote the fusion of financial authorities, the financial industry, law enforcement, and national security agencies with both a major recommendation of the which is both a major recommendation of the November 2020 report and a conclusion of a 2019 high-level roundtable between the endowment, the IMF, and central bank governors. The endowment had also partnered with the IMF, SWIFT, Standard something or other, and the FSISAC to create a cyber resilience capacity building toolbox for the financial institutions in 2019. That same year, the endowment also began tracking the evolution of the cyber threat landscape and incidents involving financial institutions in collaboration with the BAE Systems and the UK's largest weapons manufacturer. Per the endowment, this collaboration continues in the present. So, I mean, that's just giving a little history about what Carnegie has done in this area. But they're basically saying this attack is imminent. It's coming. This collapse is going to happen. In January 2020, the representatives of the Carnegie Endowment presented their cyber policy initiative at the annual roundtable meeting in the World Economic Forum, after which the forum officially partnered with the endowment on the initiative. Oh, we got a super chat from Leonardo Vu saying, they will keep the paper money and create a USA digital currency, then give it out as stimulus monthly or economic stabilize, but they will block other crypto. See, and I could see that happening because there's going to be a point where like one Dogecoin is going to be like $500 because like fucking the dollar's worth so little.
What do you do if they make gold illegal at the same time?
I mean, I would keep it, but I know that the American people in the past have turned it in.
Yep.
And that was crazy, man. What president was that happened?
FDR did that. 1934.
And it was like a year or a 2-year long program of like going around and collecting everyone's gold.
I like to call FDR America's Hitler because he fucking rounded up all the gold, made the 1934 NFA, and put Japanese people in concentration camps.
Well, gold was like $21 an ounce or something like that. It was like 17 an ounce.
Yeah.
And so he called everyone's gold in and paid them all $17 an ounce. And then as soon as he paid out the last ounce of gold, he changed the like exchange rate to like 37 or something like that. I forget the exact numbers, but they basically like doubled the amount of money that the gold was worth. And then after they confiscated it and then began selling it back to people at that price.
You ever seen those commercials for rare 1934 double eagles fucking found in a cache? That's some rich person that had a little safe in Switzerland or whatever in a fucking safety deposit box full of fucking gold coins that didn't turn them in. And like now they're selling them on fucking Fox News.
I honestly think that guns are not a bad choice.
I agree. I like guns.
Like,
I agree. I like guns too.
They seem to hold the value that, like, you're not going to make money. It's not like you're going to get rich off of it, but you're not going to like lose money. You know, like as the dollar devalues, if you have like $600 and you buy an AR-15, you know, and then like 10 years later, like that $600 is a loaf of bread, and your AR-15 is $7,000. But it's about equivalent, you know.
Well, look, the cheapest AR-15s got was like $400, right? Worst case scenario, that's where you're at.
Right now, the cheapest one is like $500. Like you can't really build one for less than $470, $480.
I know. What I'm saying is like the cheapest I've ever seen a complete reasonable AR-15 for was like $350, $400. So it will always be worth at least that. Is my thought. So
right. Like that's the cheapest AR-15 I ever built was like $360. So
yeah.
Not in the now times, but in the ever. Although I wonder, like, if you built it at the exact right time, what's the cheapest AR-15 you could have ever built? Like what?
I built that pistol for $365. That was the cheapest I ever built a gun for. I sold that gun for $700. So.
I mean, technically, I built one cheaper, the COVID-15, because I got the parts kit for $200. But that was like a buddy deal. That wasn't like a bought it from a place, you know. So it doesn't really count. Erstwhile says, "How's the ceiling fan going, dude? I haven't even touched it yet. I'm so fucking beat removing everything. I bought the light fixture to replace it." But I haven't done anything about it yet. It's just sitting there.
So what? You're gonna add a light kit to a ceiling fan?
No, I'm gonna take away a ceiling fan and replace it with a light so that there's more room for a loft bed.
Oh, okay.
Because he can get up into his bed, but just barely. You know,
he needs wider ceilings.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does need wider ceilings.
Yeah, I've got a couple fans that I gotta go and add light kits to this week. So. Fun stuff.
Dude, I've never taken out a ceiling fan and rewired a light, so if I die, you guys know why.
Make sure to turn the power off before you do so.
Again, if I die...
I mean, live vicariously, you know? You do you.
Yeah. I wouldn't turn the power off, but you know,
Sometimes you gotta live a little dangerously.
you know that
I only say that because I care.
you get like high enough heels, Honda, you don't even need a step ladder to change that out.
There's like a rule when you're working on computers, like when you're on the inside of it, you only use one hand. Because if you touch two things at a time, that's when you make an arc.
Yeah.
If you're just touching one spot at a time with one hand.
It's not so much an arc; it's that you lessen the chance of static electricity.
And
Well, you're
like,
making a circuit with your body, is what I'm saying.
if you have both hands in, it can go all the way through your body and through your chest. That's why you do that. Whereas if it's just through your hand, like you'll get shocked or whatever, but it won't kill you. Kind of big.
Oh wow, Savage! Wow.
Honda could become Thor. Hush, Jonas.
9.
There's Honda sitting there with like a claw hammer, like.
Great Odin's beard.
If I was Thor, I'd be like that fucking like stoner, like fat Thor who like play video games.
Yeah. I was just gonna say.
That sounds like 5'2". I will find you and I will hurt you.
Sounds like the kind of Thor I would like to be.
Do you know who this is? I am Thor, God of Thunder. Noob 84572 has been an annoyance for many months now.
Okay, so it goes on to say, not a question of if, but when. The Cyber Policy Initiative's November 2020 report is officially titled International Strategy to Better Protect the Financial System. It begins by noting that the global financial system, like many other systems, are going through unprecedented digital transformation, which is being accelerated by the coronavirus pandemic. Blah, blah, blah. Followed by this warning, malign actors. The report notes that increasingly concerned key voices surrounding. I can't fucking read this shit.
I just want to butt in here and say words. Because like someone has to.
I don't know. When something's like well worded, it's easy to read. When something's like followed by this warning of malign actors, the report notes that increasingly concerned key voices are surrounding the alarm.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. I'm skipping
with commas and structure and shit.
Yeah, it's like comma, quotes, comma, quotes, comma. Like, fuck you with your sentence. Ensuring control of the narrative. Another section of the report details recommendations for controlling the narrative in the event of such a crippling cyber attack takes place. The report specifically recommends that financial authorities and industry should ensure that they are properly prepared to influence operations and hybrid attacks that combine influence operations with malicious hacking activity. It sounds like they're working together with the hackers. And that they apply lessons learned in the influence operations targeted electrical process to potential attack on financial institutions. Dude, these sentences. Jesus Christ. Long story short, they're basically planning on controlling the narrative as the building is falling. They're going to say that it was falling because of fire damage, not because of bombs in the building. That's why Building 7 fell, right, boys?
Of course.
Fire damage.
Obviously.
Yep.
Which is what the BBC reported, that the Sullivan Brothers building, Building 7, had fallen due to fire damage while it was still standing and burning in the background because they got their time fucking zone change wrong and they were told to give this report at 7 o'clock. Well, they gave it at 7 o'clock, but it was the wrong time zone. And so the report came out a full hour before the building fell. But the reporter was too stupid to turn around and look and see the fucking burning building that they're talking about is falling down, still standing behind her. But they don't think, and like I've seen interviews with that bitch years later, speaking of which, and she's just like, I don't know what you're talking about. Just play dumb. And no one cares, dude. No one cares. No one fucking cares. No one pays attention to this shit. Everyone just like, they're like, yeah, no, it's fine. It's just like a coincidence, right? Yeah, these things happen. No, they fucking don't. Fuck you, dude.
This message is brought to
Do you feel better now?
Honda, tell us how you really feel.
I hate it when you say something like that and someone says, tell me how you really feel, rather than adding anything to it. It's fine. Told you how I really feel now.
Okay, good. I'm glad we aired all that out. Don't you feel better now?
No, I feel way worse. I feel
Now let's talk about tipping.
cow tipping.
Yes.
I did it once. It didn't work.
What is the proper technique to tip a bovine?
You put your shoulder between the hip and the rudder.
The rudder?
Remember, you got to catch the cow off balance first.
It's apparently a boat now. Oh, we're talking about the four-legged animals. Oh.
Yes. You got not the Walmart ones, Angry.
Oh. My
I
bad.
like how you guys have more to say about a slip of words than an incredible run-on sentence that had some really, really good, poignant points that are actually very prevalent in the situation that we find ourselves in the world today, right now, on the gay Frog Chat.
Well,
And all you're concerned about is that I said rudder instead of udder. Fuck.
When every other word's fuck, I just kind of stop listening after a while.
You lost us at the 9/11 rant, I think.
You did.
Cool.
Duke, wake up.
Dookie Duke. Duke.
Duke.
It's
Take
not
that
happening.
snore as a no.
Duke, red alert, code red.
Yeah, what are we gonna do when he actually is not falling asleep and like talks and shit?
Well, then we're just going to have to go along with the conversation, I guess.
Oh, he's awake and he heard us, and he was like, rather than being like, you're right, blah blah blah, Duke, give me the picnic basket.
He really does sound like Yogi Bear.
He realized the error of his ways, and he only had the strength to do one of two things, and so he gracefully bowed out.
Hey, boo boo. I'm tired from all these picnic baskets.
Like a blue whale surfacing in the ocean. Duke left the chat.
So yeah, the thing that I've been thinking about is there something right now that's going to be world economic disaster proof? And I don't know.
How much for the women?
I mean, there's things that are going to like hold their value, I guess, but I'm more looking for the thing that's going to like Bitcoin when it was $5 a Bitcoin. If you just put in like $50, you could have 10 Bitcoins, and now you're retired, right? Like that kind of shit.
I don't think anything's ever absolute.
It's true, but there's something out there right now. There's something out there right fucking now that if you just knew if you just like had a crystal ball and put $50 into it right now today, you never have to work again at a point.
I have a thought. If we all moved to Nevada, we pool our money and we open Honda and Ray Ray's cat house. And like Honda will have a baseball bat in case people get rough or whatever with the girls, and like I'll take care of the rest.
No,
I mean,
now will that be in one of the Las Vegas Trump Towers?
I'm sure, probably.
I mean, that's not a bad investment concept. I mean,
Where's Trump at these days, man?
We'll get angry at
everywhere.
Lamborghini limousine to drive people up to the cat house.
There we
Got
go.
another super chat.
I don't need to tell you. Fuck you telling me I got a super chat. I know I got a super chat. I don't want to read it yet because it's fucking mean. All right, I'll read it. Honda just went full conspiracy rant, and I kind of got the urge to hug him and say, I know, buddy. It's all an inside job, while petting his head. See, fuck that shit. God damn it. I didn't want to read that.
It's okay, buddy. We know.
We
It's
know,
all-
buddy.
We know.
Well, I mean, you're
Okay.
watching a conspiracy fucking chat. I don't know where you want me to go.
Hey, we should talk about JFK. 'Cause
We
that's
should.
definitely an inside job.
That's definitely an inside job.
Although I'm somewhat convinced that James Franco might have killed him, but I might have been really high when I watched some documentary.
Well,
There's
Probably.
1,000 times more evidence for 9/11 than there is for JFK. But yeah,
all I'm gonna say is there's something suspicious about that grassy knoll.
I think it's actually a hatch, and there's like a fucking sniper hide in it.
well, there was a report of a dude in there's like a parking lot or something on the top of the grassy knoll, and there was puffs of smoke coming from up there, and that's where everyone was running to. And supposedly there was a guy with like a suit and tie and sunglasses and a hat who got into a car and sped off as soon as that shit happened from there.
I still like the theory that like the shots went off and his handlers fucking panicked, and one of them had their trigger finger on the fucking trigger of an M16 and accidentally shot JFK in the head.
There's that. I have heard that one. And actually, like, if you look at JFK's wound,
Yeah, it makes sense.
it looks like a 2-2-3 shot to the head. And it looks like a 2-2-3 shot that hit him in the front and came out the back of his head. Not hit him in the back of the head. And I don't know, what did they say, that it just, like, skimmed the back of his head and took a chunk out or something? Or what did
No, it went through his fucking head. If I remember right.
Listen, here's what I say. We know people that live in Texas. We know people that have Carcanos, and we know people that have ARs. We just need someone that's willing to, like,
Come on, Matt.
play, if you will, as Kennedy, and we can all put this to the test.
We'll just have Matt get up in the school book depository with a couple rifles and settle this.
Yeah.
We won't ask permission first though, because that seems dumb.
I still got to get a scope for my Carcano.
Whenever you go have to do that video, like shooting the toy car.
Yeah, dude, seriously. Like, I'll have my son drive a remote control car and I'll, like, climb a tree or something.
have like a G.I. Joe in it as Kennedy.
That's great. That's great.
Savage says, didn't mean it's as belittling for the conspiracy, more just how worked up you were while saying it all. Let me love you, goddammit.
You left a long time, Honda.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Man, and Savage like cleans people's asses and shit for a living. He's a good person to have love you.
Right. You don't even have to wear a blue dress. I don't see what you're complaining about.
You got that blue dress, goddamn.
Either do you, goddammit. Yeah.
You have that blue dress, don't
I
you?
don't. I really don't.
Yes, you do.
You
I
fucking
honestly
have
You
it.
don't.
know it.
Sitting in your house. You
It's
don't want to
not.
admit it.
I
It's
called
not.
and talked to your
You tried
dad.
it on and you were
Like, hell yeah, he got that blue dress.
you were concerned
No.
about how good you looked in it and you didn't want anyone to know.
No, I really didn't get the blue dress. I'm sorry.
It's really funnier if Honda pocketed the money and never sent it. Thinking like he's never gonna wear it anyway. This is funnier because it kind of is. If that's what happened.
I sent a fucking blue dress. It wasn't a nice blue dress. It was a cheap blue dress. It was about the cheapest blue dress for a plus-sized girl that I could find.
See, the truth is out. The truth is out. And apparently, it was so nice that some male lady decided to keep it.
Oh yeah, she wanted that moo
Yeah,
for
because
herself.
they know what's in the packages.
Yeah.
Apparently,
They scan it with their X-ray vision.
I don't know. It seems to me if you were like a package deliverer, you could just do the Jurassic Park method of it's heavy, therefore it must be expensive.
Yes. I think eventually they would catch you at that though, Honda.
Yeah, most likely.
Oh, Savage says, speaking of the dress, as soon as I get verification of him wearing one, I will never call Night Strike Jonas again.
Jonas in the blue dress.
If that's not incentivization or whatever, incentive. Jesus Christ, I tried to make up a word.
yeah.
If that's not incentive, then
Incentivization.
I don't know what is, Night Strike.
I think we need some hardcore like motivation, Savage. Send us like 100 Dogecoin, and he'll do it for that.
Almost this time. Almost these days, but eventually we'll figure something out. All right, guys.
I say we all wait.
Like $30-40.
I say we all wait till our meetup and we just get Night Strike hammered till he passes out, and then
And then just put him in a blue dress. Yeah.
When's the last time Night Strike got hammered?
Ooh. It's been a bit.
With alcohol or like another form?
With alcohol, about 10 years.
How about the other one?
I don't do anything other than alcohol.
So no dicks. Gotcha.
No, no. Sadly, Ray, I'm not into that.
He thinks he protests too much.
I probably do, but only because it's true.
This is a good question right here, and I want to ask you guys too, before I answer. When do you think the collapse will begin?
I think it started.
I'd say it's already started.
I'd say it's already going on right now. Just a smaller scale.
Look at the news.
No, hold
if it
on,
hasn't
hold on.
started,
Hold on.
my god.
Specifically dealing with what we're talking about here, the collapse is having to deal with a cyber attack that collapses the financial system.
Okay,
So yeah, we're in the process of the natural collapse of the building, but they have controlled demolition blasts in the basement with a fucking rigged timer, and that timer's going to go off at a certain time.
Okay.
And actually bring the building down.
Okay, on the whole cyber attack thing, it could be the next month, or it could be the next 6 months, or it might happen in 2 years. We don't know.
No, I say it'll happen March 18th, 2023 at 3:49 p.m.
Dude, if you're right.
If I'm right, like, I bet get some of that collapse money because I just pulled that shit out of my ass.
No, we all know it'll happen on New Year's Eve, December 31st. What was it? 2024. There we go.
You heard it here first, folks, from the God himself who creates and controls all things.
I don't. I really don't.
The government does like to pull off crazy events on 420.
True, and the government also likes to put bullshit rulings when everybody's off on vacation, too.
Although, I gotta say, if there was some kind of crazy financial collapse, maybe at least people would stop coming into the country so much.
Honda, you're so racist.
I just want to know where we're gonna all set up our new world. Like, are we doing Newfoundland, or?
Yeah, we're gonna go take over that Bear Island.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we got to go to Google Maps and find our island again. My island. It's mine.
Hey, I got an update from that shooting from earlier.
Okay. Go ahead.
A little girl got killed and her father shot in the chest.
Oh god damn.
She was 7.
Jeez.
That's why we're moving to this island up here.
The Bear Island.
Where there's been 0 shootings last year.
There are polar bears.
But there's lots of hunting.
No polar bears.
Savage, that almost makes me want to put a blue dress on, just for you.
And the security guard at the gas station was telling me that it was 10 shootings in that area, like all today. Like all in that little area.
Dude, this shit's just frozen like a lot, I bet. Like, you're not using this bay very much. You're not getting out to sea.
Hold up, don't they have nuclear submarines? Like, the Russians still are probably dipping off some of those, and those can break ice.
Yeah, those are
I
icebreakers.
have Russian submarine and live up there.
Yeah.
With nukes.
We'll just take like one of these little islands.
Take our submarine with missile.
Duh.
Like, there's literally nothing on this island but rock, but, we could figure it out.
We could just build into the rock, and just, make a concrete building on top of the rock or something.
We'll make a machine that can turn rocks into anything. There you go.
So, Jonas, do you want to become a Honda tier member of the Savage Sharpshooter 93 Productions and be entitled to all of the perks associated with that status?
I'm going to have to work on that, yeah.
I would do that if I were you, Jonas.
It can be yours for the low price of wearing a blue dress on camera.
I may have to. Oh, he's got another message out there for you.
Do I get to come to Bear Island? I'm down to drop some bears along with whatever other game.
I would say yes. I mean, I feel at this point you
At this point,
obligated.
you were obligated, yeah.
And you're going to belong to House Mormont.
Yep.
I think we might have to call it Savage Sharpshooter 93 Island.
I think we just call it SS-93 Island because that's
SS-93 is more catchy.
Isn't that some Nazi shit?
No.
SS-93, 1488.
SS was, but
SS has stood for a lot of things over the years. So.
It has.
We'll make some nice lightning bolt symbols. No one will.
yeah. That might be different.
That might get us in trouble.
I guess it's a good thing Savage wasn't born in '88.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, man. I'm about out of things to talk about here. Let's go to Bayham Island. Bayham Martin Island. We'll name it Savage. Savage Land.
Savage Land.
Dude, like, even these islands, it's like, there's fucking nothing here. There's fucking nothing on this entire fucking shithole. Look at this.
You know what it would take just to get to that island?
Oh, yeah.
It would be a pain in the ass.
You just gotta go to the tip of Maine and go straight north until winter.
That's the other thing. It's like, you better
wow. I can't believe Matt did that.
I can.
Savage says, never enough ammo called me an SS guy earlier before, laughing at his F up. Oh, laughing at his F up, at his fuck up.
Yeah. I wouldn't call you that, Savage.
I would.
Yeah.
Well, you do it because it's funny.
X out of one says, it's Bear Island. You have to be nude 24/7.
Oh, different type of bear.
In which case, we're getting an island further down here.
Yeah, we need a warmer island.
Yeah.
Yeah, in that case.
We need, like, La Bera Island or something.
Right.
I know what, that shooting of that 7-year-old girl, that was at another spot not the spot I just showed you.
Oh,
it's on the same street. No, it's on the same street, but it was at the McDonald's drive-through.
Jesus Christ, how many fucking...
What the fuck is happening at your fast food drive-thrus?
Dude, I got home earlier, it was yesterday, with like a bunch of shit from the house, and there was a cop walking through the parking lot. He's like, did you guys hear some gunshots? And I was like, no. I was like, yeah, like 15 minutes ago? I was like, no, dude, we just got here like 5 minutes ago. Apparently there was like some shooting going on here.
See, the proper response is not yet, but it can be arranged.
Good job.
Savage says, warmer, can't we all just snuggle for warm?
Yeah, but at a certain point, like when it's that cold, like no amount of snuggling for warmth is going to save you.
I'm not going to snuggle with all you fuck.
As long as we're sleeping like head to foot, you know? That way things still line... Never mind. They still line up.
Okay.
It still lines up. It doesn't work.
Kind of creeped out there.
I was just at the other spot, coming home from work near the McDonald's. Yeah, I seen police all over that place too.
Erstwhile says, you gonna hold Doge till it hits $1? Man, if I hadn't sold Doge and tried to buy it and like make extra money, I would have so much more than I have right now. I think Holdor is the way to go. You just hold it until it hits like the level that you want it to hit and sell it then.
Yeah, I've only got like about I think $200 into it. So honestly, if it goes up, great. If it goes down, okay. But honestly, you just hold on to it. It's like some stock. You hold on to some stock forever. You don't sell it.
Well, it's very tempting though, is the thing, because it's so volatile that it goes up and down and up and down and up and down. And so you think like, oh, if it just goes up and I sell it, and then it goes down and I buy it, and then it goes up and I sell it, and it goes down and I buy it. And if you can do that and make it work out, yes, you're right. You're going to make a lot more money than you would if you just buy it and hold it. But the problem is, like, it goes up and you sell it, and then it doesn't go down. It just goes way up higher. and then higher and higher. And then you're like, well, fuck, I'm going to buy it now because, like, apparently this is the new price. And then as soon as you buy in, it's like, nah, bitch, now we're going to go down. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's like, don't sell all of it off. That's the point. If it goes up and you want to sell some of it to cash some of it out, but don't sell all of it. That way, if it goes up even further, then you still have some money to, cash out at that point.
well, and I'd done it a few times where I was like, I got, X amount of Dogecoin, and then it like spiked up, and I sold it, and then it went back to the normal price, and I bought back in, and it's like, well, now I have 10% more Dogecoin than I had before. But then the other day, it was like, oh, it's at 5 cents. Okay, now it's at 7 cents, 7.5. Okay, I'm going to sell it here because I think that's as high as it's going to go. And then it went up to 12. And I was like, well, I'm not going to buy in at 12 because it's going to go back down to 7, and I'm going to be fucked. And then it went up to 20. And I'm like, God damn it. It was so sad, man. That was so much money that I could have made if I just, like, ignored it.
Cold, yeah.
Well, I bought in at 7, so...
You put in 200?
I'm sitting on 80,000 Doge, hoping to make enough to break even and pay my $70,000 hospital bill.
Good luck.
I hope so, man. Like, honestly, if it goes to $1 a Doge, like I think it will,
just cash out.
You'll get your $70,000 hospital bill plus about 10 grand left over. So,
yeah, I'll probably get about $1,000.
See, and Wolco says my $175 is now worth almost $2,000. And there's a girl that I work with who bought it at 0.5 cents or 0.4 cents a Dogecoin.
Yeah,
she put like $500 in it at that. So she's got like 20,000 Dogecoin for $500, right? And yeah, like now it's worth, I don't know,
30 something cents right now.
Yeah, it's worth like $7,000. So anyway,
I mean, when I bought it, I think I got like a little over 1,000. I think 1,000 or 2. I think so. I don't know the exact number.
Tara says, when it's that cold, you have to do more than snuggle. It's not gay. It's not straight. It's survival.
Ooh.
So we have to find the largest member of the group and be like use them like a tauntaun.
Probably.
Yeah, I'll be snuggling my own igloo, thank you.
I'm just gonna find a bear and do that.
You just kill a bear and climb inside of it.
Yeah.
Like a tauntaun.
On that note, I'm gonna bow out, gents. I gotta hit the rack.
Yeah,
See y'all tomorrow.
I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Well, I guess on that note, we've been about an hour and 20 minutes into this, and I've been out of things to talk about for about the last 10 minutes of it, so we're going to go ahead and just shut it down here. I hope you guys enjoyed the chat. I hope that everyone has a plan for the upcoming global financial meltdown, controlled demolition of the dollar and everything else, because it's coming. I think it is. So, oh shit, we got another. Y'all forgetting about Robinhood reports for taxes. Yeah.
Yep.
It's true, and it's going to suck when I do my taxes because they're going to be like, here's your 1044 or whatever for Robinhood, and it's going to be 50 pages long.
Yeah, right.
But it'll come up with a round number at the end. And
You'll be fine.
it's when you have, like, I'm on Robinhood, and I'm on E-Trade, and I'm on this thing, and I'm on that thing, and you've got, like, 5 different accounts, and now it's time to do your taxes? Like,
Well, that's only if you use all those accounts. If those accounts don't have anything in them, then you're fine.
Yeah. Well, anyway, guys, I hope you all have a good night. Brian Knight says good night. Chili Bean says go back Lee Teppy. Go back Lee Teppy.
Go back, Lee Teppy.
Good night, all. I'll see you guys. Have a good night. Peace.
Hasta mañana.